Everybody wants to feel loved, and the ultimate love is love from Hashem. As I heard the Baal Shem Tov used to say that God is called Baal Rachmim, which is translated as the merciful one. Now, why is God called Baal Rachmim? Because the word Rachmim is derived from the word Rechem, which Rechem means womb. What does that mean? That the same way you understand that a mother loves their child unconditionally. Why? Because the child is part of the mother. There is no reason, there's nothing that the child did for the mother that the mother shall love the child. The mother loves the child because the child is part of the mother. So the same way, we are part of Hashem. We are like the womb of Hashem. Don't think for a second Hashem has a womb, because He doesn't. It's a mashal, it's an example. The reason why Hashem made a mother have a womb is for us to understand that the same way one being can be another, the same way we are part of Hashem. Now I believe that everybody heard the word of that every Jew is a Chaylig Elekai Mimal, which means he's part of God in heaven. Now a lot of people can think, yeah, okay, I understand that I'm a Chaylig Elekai Mimal, I'm a part of God in heaven, that God is up there and He's in heaven and He's this big being, and I am this small little nothing being on this small little earth, and maybe if I do something in His name or what He commanded, I have some connection to Him. But other than that, He's up there, He's this big being, and I'm this small little nothing. That's what a person could think. Chaz v'sholem. And this is why the Baal Shem Tov used the term of Rachmim, that God is called Baal Rachmim means Rechem. The same way you understand the womb, the same way you can understand you're a Chaylig Elekai Mimal, that means you are part of Hashem. You're literally a part of Hashem. Part of you, your whole existence exists because Hashem created you. And it's not just Hashem created you and then He let you go. No, you're part of Him. You're living within Him. You're a Chaylig Elekai Mimal. You're Rechem in the womb. Now a person can ask, but how can I feel the love? How can I experience the love? So, to bring out the love of Hashem better, is we say by Krishma, V'ohavtu es Hashem Elokechu b'chol levavchu v'chol nafshechu v'chol moedechu. You should love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, v'chol moedechu. It's like the Torah tells you 3 times, 3 different things, how you should love Hashem. So, question number 1. When the Torah says, V'ohavtu es Hashem Elokechu, think about those words. I command you, you should love Hashem. How in the world can you force somebody to love something or someone? Love is a feeling, and there has to be a reason why someone loves something or someone. So, how can the Torah command you should love Hashem? Like, what if a person says, I don't love Hashem? For whatever reason it should be, but I don't love Hashem. So how can you force somebody to love something? Imagine I come to you and say, you have to love this table. You have to love this piece of cake. Or whatever it should be. You can't do it. How can the Torah say, V'ohavtu Hashem Elokechu, you have to love Hashem? So the simple answer is that you should think about it. Because if you start thinking about it, you'll start loving Hashem. The reason why you don't love Hashem, because you're not connected to it. You're living your life, you're busy doing whatever you have to do, and you don't think about the factor of Hashem, and you don't connect to Him, and you don't connect to what He's doing to you, so therefore you don't love Him. Or you think you don't love Him. So that's what the Torah says, V'ohavtu Hashem Elokechu, think about it. And you'll think about it, you'll get to love Him. Now according to the Tanya, it comes out a little bit of a deeper understanding, that every Jew if you dig in deep, 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 as deep you could go with inside a Jew. Meaning you go into the deepest part, to the depth of the person's soul. What are you going to see over there? You're going to see pure love for Hashem. Because a Jew, by nature, the Jewish soul is purely connected to Hashem and has no interest in anything on this world. All it wants is to be close to Hashem and do what Hashem wants him to do. That's all a Jew wants to do when you go to the depth of a Jew. So if that's the case, how come Jews are so busy with doing everything else other than connect to Hashem? And sometimes Jews sadly disconnect from Hashem. The answer is because we have a big Yetzer Hara, a big evil inclination, and he distracts us, and he makes us think that there's something better than Hashem, and he makes us not think from Hashem whatsoever. Therefore, it stays in our debt, and it doesn't express itself. It doesn't come out, only if a Jew chooses to fight with his evil inclination. So, when the Torah says, "V'ahavta Hashem Elokecha," what the Torah means to say is, dig in very deep into yourself. Connect to your conscious. Recognize who you really are and what your real desire is, and connect to that. So you're not going to have to love Hashem. You're not going to get to love Hashem because you love Hashem already. It's just going to come out of you. So V'ahavta Hashem Elokecha, dig into your depth of yourself. And that's how you're going to get to love Hashem. That's how the love that you have from Hashem will come out. So now we understand V'ahavta Hashem Elokecha. But then the Torah tells you 3 different ways how you should love Hashem. And that is a big question. What does those 3 ways mean? So you say love Hashem, so the Torah says V'ahavta Hashem Elokecha, and that's it. What is this? B'chol levavchu, b'chol nafshechu, b'chol moedechu. The simple translation, B'chol levavchu, b'chol nafshechu, b'chol moedechu, means with all your heart, with all your soul, b'chol moedechu, with all your strength. Or some will say moedechu is more of very, or it could be money. But it's more and less within the same category. So why does the Torah say the 3 things? So the known definition is from Rashi. There are a whole bunch of other definitions, but Rashi is the most well known. So Rashi says B'chol levavchu means with both your yetzers, the evil inclination and the good, the evil and the bad. With both of them, you should love Hashem. Now, B'chol nafshechu means even if somebody is threatened to give up his life, meaning if somebody comes to a Jew and tells him either you bow to this idol or I'll kill you, you have to give up your life for Hashem. That is B'chol nafshechu. That you should love Hashem, you should do it because you love Hashem with all your soul. I'm willing to give up my life for Hashem. So if that's the case, what else is there? So Rashi says B'chol moedechu means that there are some people where their money is more valuable than their lives. So therefore Hashem speaks to those people to say, even if you have to give up all your money, you should give it up for Hashem. Because for those people, their money is more valuable than their lives. So it sounds very interesting, this definition. And the reason why is because how many people in the world value more their money than their lives? I know there are some people like that, but very few, and those people are usually a little mentally touched. They are not fully there. Because it's not a normal thing for a person to love his money more than his life. It doesn't make any sense. So why would the Torah command everybody to say every day something? Because there are some individuals who are not fully there that they should be willing to give up their money for Hashem. Like, something sounds off. Now, before I'll get to the answer of Rashi, I would like to give one more definition of this 3, what the 3 differences is, B'chol levavchu, b'chol nafshechu, b'chol moedechu, according to the Tanya. But according to the Tanya says like this: B'chalavavchu, that a person should love Hashem with all his heart, could mean that a person thinks to himself, Hashem gives me life, Hashem gives me a house to live in, Hashem gives me money, Hashem gives me all the things I have, all the good things. Therefore, of course I love Him. Now, that if I'll have to give up my life for Hashem, I'll give up my life for Hashem. But you know why? Because I believe I'll get heaven. So both of them are something that makes sense. That you give me, I give you. I love Hashem for a condition. You provide for me, therefore I love you. You're going to put me in heaven after I die, therefore I'm willing to give up my life for Hashem. Now, Moedechu is a language of very, very strong, like love Hashem very strong. That is already beyond logic. That a person has to love Hashem not because He gives you, because I love Hashem. That a person should be willing to give up his life for Hashem because I love Hashem. I don't care whether I get heaven, I don't get heaven. I don't care. That's not the reason why I'm willing to give up my life. And that is beyond logic. And that is the definition of B'chol Moedechu, according to the Tanya. That a person should not just love Hashem because Hashem gives you or Hashem is going to give you. You should love Hashem just because you love Hashem. Pure love. So, now back to the question of Rasha, that why would the Torah tell everybody to say every day something, because there are some people that might love their money more than their lives. So I thought to myself a different definition, which that could explain Rasha, and it could also go according to the Tanya. Now, there are a whole bunch of other definitions, but I'm not going to get into it. I'm just going to get to my definition. My definition, the way I understand it, is B'chalavavchu, like Rasha says, with both Yetzer Hara and Yetzer Tov. Your good will and your bad will. B'chol nafshechu, even if you have to give up your life for Hashem, you should love Hashem and be willing to give up your life for Hashem. B'chol Moedechu, that you actually should live for Hashem. What does that mean? That it's easier for a person to die for something than to live for something. To explain it, I'll give you an example. Let's say we live in the United States, and today's days, all the soldiers in the army, they're all volunteers. So here you have a youngster, an American patriot. He decides he wants to enlist in the army. So he goes over to the army. I want to enlist in the army. So the officer, I'm not sure how it's called, the person they're taking the application asked him, if you go in the army, you might die. Are you willing to give up your life for the country? And the guy says, yes, of course. I'm willing to die for my country. I'm willing to die to defend the freedom of America. So, now what if the officer tells him, okay, I respect that. It's an amazing thing that you're willing to give up your life to protect your country. But what if I have for you a different proposal? I want from you a different job. A job that doesn't require to give up your life. I want you to go every day. And every day I mean 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Every day for the rest of your life, you should go to a corner in a busy city and tell people what an amazing country the United States is. Glorify America. Make everybody recognize the glory of America, the beauty of America, what an amazing country it is, and what it contributes to the entire world, and everything about America. You know what's going to happen? The person will say, I quit. On the spot, I quit. Now I don't understand. Here, you're willing to die for the country. And in order to become a soldier, you have to go through torturous training. It's very difficult to become a soldier. It's a lot of training and it's a lot of pain. And then after going through all the pain, you might die. So you can lose your life, you lose everything. Over here, you're not losing anything. So let's say I'm not telling the person to stand all day and say how glorify America. Let's say a few hours every day. But nobody wants that. Yeah, there are some people who will talk about America, what a great country is, and a lot of people will give speeches about it and everything, but they will do it occasionally, on their convenience, maybe sometimes not in their convenience, and most of the time they're making money out of it, so it's not just pure patriarchal. But a person to go every day and be busy living for something, that is very hard. And it's so hard that it's more hard to do this than to give up your life. So this is what the Torah tells us here. Hashem does not want you to die. Hashem wants you to live. And Hashem wants you should live. Your whole life should be devoted for Hashem. That the reason why you live, the reason why you wake up in the morning and why you go on your day, from the morning till night, and even the reason why you're sleeping, it should all be for Hashem. Mo'oitchu. Mo'oitchu is a lashon of your strength with everything of you. Your whole everything should be for Hashem. And the reason why the Torah writes it after nafshechu is because it's easier to give up your life for something than to live for something. It's easier to die for something than to live for something. So that's what the Torah says. B'chol levavchu, do it with all your heart, with both your evil side and your good side. So a person can think, okay, when I do a mitzvah, I'll do it with love. And then when I'll fight with my Yetzer Hara, and I'm not going to sin, I'll also do it with love. I'll do it because I love Hashem. So my Yetzer Hara tells me to do an Avera, and I'm not going to do it because I love Hashem. But then my life goes on, the days goes on. I mean, most of the day I'm busy doing what I want to do, not quite what Hashem wants me to do. So therefore, okay, there will be times I love Hashem, there will be times I don't love Hashem. Okay, if it happens that I have to give up my life, okay, I'll do that. But then the Torah comes and tells you, with everything you have, your whole life, your whole being, your whole everything should be for Hashem. And that is the hardest thing for a person to do. And that could now explain, maybe, that what Rashi says, that there are people who value their money more than life. It's not quite that. It means that a person will rather die for something than to live for something. So tell a person, take all your money and everything you have and all your strength and devote it for Hashem. People are getting afraid of it. And a person might even, it's less hard to die for something than to live for something. And to explain it better, because let's say somebody comes to someone, a non-Jew comes to a Jew, and tells him, either you bow to the idol or I kill you. How long is the whole process going to take? If the person says, no, I'm not bowing, kill me. A few seconds, a few minutes, it's a very quick process. So that few moments will be very painful, very scary, very frightening, yeah, but it's a few moments. It doesn't take that long. But to go on and on every day is very difficult. And this is what the Torah tells you. You should love Hashem with everything you have. All your life should be devoted to love Hashem. Now you can ask me why? Because Hashem loves you. To get back to the question that I started from the beginning. I know Hashem loves me, but how can I feel it? It's when you love Hashem. And the more you love Hashem, the more you bring in love into your life, and the more you bring in the love of God into the world. You're channeling the love. The love is being channeled through you. And that happens when you're engaging by loving Hashem. And the more you love Hashem, the more love comes in. So a person could think that the Torah is a very strict thing and it's very hard. And it is very hard. But the hardship is not necessarily the bad thing. The bad thing, what people can think, is that I feel obligated. I have to, and I have to, and I have to. And a lot of people are like, why can't the Torah be a little bit easier and I don't have to so much? But now maybe you can understand it from a different perspective. That Rachmem, Hashem loves you. You're part of Hashem. But the reason why you're not feeling it, why you're not experiencing the love of Hashem all the time, is because you're not engaged with doing what Hashem tells you to do. So when Hashem told you to do all the mitzvahs and to hold yourself back from sinning, it is not meant to put a bandit on you, like to put a yoke on you and to make you feel so obligated and so restricted. No, it's meant to spread love. It's meant for you to be able to receive the love of Hashem. And the more you engage in doing what Hashem tells you to do, the more you engage in Torah, the more you learn Torah, the more you do mitzvahs, the more you're holding yourself back from sinning. And the more you meditate on Hashem and then you think about the godless of Hashem, the more love can come into your life and the more you can feel it. And of course you feel more connected to Hashem. And that is the reason why the Torah is so surrounded, like our whole lives is surrounded with the Torah. In a certain way, if you look at Judaism, Judaism doesn't necessarily look like a religion. It looks like a way of life. And the way of life is a relationship. Because your whole life is surrounded with doing. The Torah tells you, you wake up, everything you do is do it for Hashem. And right now, what I just said, your whole life should be devoted for Hashem. And everywhere you look in Shulchan Aruch, from when you wake up, you have to wash your hands, do this, do that, do that. It's constantly doing and constantly holding yourself back. It's surrounding your life. It's a way of life. But all of those things are meant for our good. They're not meant to restrict us and to make us feel like so bad and you have to be afraid of everything. No, it's meant to enlighten us. It's meant for us to experience love. Now, by Krishma, both by Shachris in the morning and by Marav, we read Krishma. And before we say Krishma, we say a blessing, which is a blessing of love. So, I know a lot of people never thought about it. This is literally a blessing of love. And the reason why we're saying it is because the only way we can connect to Hashem is only with love. Now, the reason why it's a blessing of love, because just look at the words. The bracha starts, the blessing starts, Ahavas Olam Aftuni. Some places say Ahava Rabu, but both of them say Ahava Olam or Rabu Aftuni. The love of the world, you loved us. You start right away with love. And then we continue, and then we ask Hashem, give us understanding, we should understand, we should be able to learn, and to do everything the Torah tells us to do. Again, with love. I'm asking Hashem, I want to be able to learn and do everything the Torah tells us with love. And then we ask Hashem more. Open up our eyes to see a Torah. Adabek means clinging on. It's like you take two magnets, they're like so connected to one, they become like one. That's how we have to become with Hashem. We become one with Hashem. That's the definition of Devaikis, V'dabek. V'dabek libayni mitzvah. Make us being clinged on to your commands. V'yachad levavayni, and make one, our heart should be one, le'ahavu eliyiru hashmechu, to love and fear your name. Again, with love. The whole blessing, blessing we're going through, everything is about love, 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 and it's all about the unity of Hashem with love. And then when we finish the bracha, we say, Baruch atah Hashem, haboicheh b'am Yisrael v'yahavu. I bless you, the Lord, that you chose us, Klal Yisrael, you chose us, the nation of Israel, with love. Now I thought to myself, the whole blessing, we're busy asking Hashem and talking about we're loving Hashem. When it comes to the final words, we're finishing that Hashem loves us. So I thought to myself, why is that? Because a person can think to himself, okay, I love Hashem, but I want Hashem to love me. What if Hashem doesn't love me? So we finally finish the word saying, no, Hashem loves you. Hashem loves us all. And that's when we start Krishma and we say Shema Yisrael. And after Shema Yisrael, what do we say afterwards? Well, Haftas Hashem Elokeinu. Again, love. Why is that? Because the only way to reach unity is with love. Because what are we doing by Krishma? We're recognizing that Hashem is one and there's nothing other than Hashem. What does that mean, one? That Hashem is one, He's full of love, full of good. There's nothing other than pure love and good. That is what Hashem is. Everything is pure love and good. The only way for us to connect to this one is with love. And how does a person develop love for Hashem? By doing what Hashem wants him to do, and by meditating and thinking about the bigness and the greatness of Hashem. Because the more you think about Hashem, the more you think how big and great Hashem is, the more you develop an emotion for Him. And then the more you do His mitzvahs, you do His commands, the more you connect to Him. And of course, every time a person holds himself back from sinning, the more you connect to Him. Now, the Gemara writes, who is called a chassid? Somebody that does lefnim mashiras hadin. Lefnim mashiras hadin means you're doing more than you were asked for. So, a chassid cannot be from feeling obligated, from feeling pressure. Because when a person does from feeling pressure and then he does more, eventually he'll collapse. It'll be impossible. He has no feelings for it. So how can a person become a real chassid? And a lot of people would think, okay, we're talking about the chassid, chassidim today are the people wearing shramlich. No. That's a term that the Baal Shem Tov adopted. But the real chassid means somebody that does lefnim mashiras hadin. He does more than he's commanded to do. So the way a person can become a chassid, to do lefnim mashiras hadin, comes from love. Comes from engaging more and more in doing what Hashem wants to, in developing a relationship with Hashem, and developing the love for Hashem. And then the person becomes so connected, so tuned into the love, that he wants to do things even though he's not supposed to do it. Pure from love. So to get back to the beginning, what I started, of Rachman. Hashem is called Baal Rachman. What does that mean? That Rechem, like a womb, the same way you understand that a mother loves their child because the child is part of the mother, the same way every Jew is part of Hashem. And the way you could experience it, the way you could experience this love, is by you loving Hashem and you engaging in what He tells you to do. That's how you will experience His love. Have a wonderful day.